Hey, hey, Sagittarius. Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your December 2025 career and money reading. All right, let's open up your energy field and take a look at what the month ahead has in store for you, Sag. And if you are celebrating another trip around the sun, happy, happy birthday to you. Bottom of the deck, we have partnership. You are manifesting a strong and successful partnership. Beautiful. And it looks like you really, really want this because you've gone through some sort of ending, or you are perhaps currently in a partnership, a company, an organization. Think of Two of Cups. Think of that Two of Cups energy where at one point you would come together, and as I say that, I'm looking at the bottom, and you also have the ring. So the two rings, it's like there's an energy that you're moving away from, pulling away from, in order to connect with a vibration that meets your own frequency. And even considering having a partner or a teacher, a mentor, a guide who can help bring in the experience that you lack. Beautiful. There's some changes coming through. I'm getting catalyst for you. This could certainly be a catalyst month. Yeah, look at, you have the Tower at the bottom of the deck here. So a catalyst is a moment, right? It could be a moment, it could be a decision, it could be a skill, or even an experience that is here to accelerate change. And you have the Tower coming through with the Three of Swords. So it feels like there's definitely change or progress that you are shifting into, okay? Because you've sat in something that's felt a bit heavy, but it feels like this is the month where you are shifting from thinking about that heaviness into doing or preparing to get ready for the next phase, the next chapter here. This is basically going from like a plateau for some of you into expansion. So let's take a look here. You have partnership, as I mentioned. Some of your relationships may be holding you back, and that's why I'm getting that Two of Cups energy. I'm just looking to see if we have the Two of Cups out here. We do not, but I do see the Ten of Swords and the Hierophant. So this is an ending of some sort of commitment that you have made with the Two of Cups, with some sort of partnership, connection, collaboration, but it's no longer resonating with your level of growth. It no longer holds that energy that you want to be a part of. Therefore, the Tower is here as the catalyst. Yes, the Tower is here as a catalyst here for you. So this could be a person who sees your potential and opens the door for you. This could be a skill that you finally develop that changes your confidence or opportunities in some way. And it could even be a decision that interrupts stagnation, right? This could be a boundary that's made. It could be a move. It could be a new offer. And I'm also getting here, for some of you, this is a moment of clarity. This month is a huge catalyst month where perhaps if you've been sabotaging, this is a moment of clarity of where you stop sabotaging and really step into leadership. So your frequency is rising and new opportunities are matching to this new vibration. That's the message that's coming through here. Now you have loss as one of your key themes, and I see the Ten of Swords. Some of you, this is financial loss. You may have gone through an ending. It says here, a major phase in your life is ending. Embrace newness. Let go of what was so you can focus your energy on what is ahead of you. There can be grief or loss that still continues at times to be a big obstacle in your life. And that's why the catalyst is important for you this month. It almost feels like the catalyst is divine intervention, whether it is that person that sees your potential. Maybe it's a decision, an aha moment. It could even be an aligned chance that meets you exactly where you've been preparing behind the scenes. So take whatever catalyst shows up for you this month, run with it, because I definitely see that you are opening that doorway, that portal. You have the watch. It's time. And it's interesting because I'm being shown an hourglass in my mind's eye. And it feels like the final bits of the sand are about to go down to the bottom. So maybe you're hitting a deadline. I mean, it's the end of the year. Some of you may even be looking at profits. If there is an opportunity at your place of employment for like a bonus or some sort of profit sharing, or if this is the moment where you're saying, I am not settling for less than I deserve. Maybe I deserve to receive a bonus and you haven't. Or perhaps there has been a lot of work that you have put into your career, but it feels like you haven't gotten anything in return. It feels like that's what's coming to an end. And this catalyst is here to tell you like enough is enough, right? Or I'm done shrinking, or this is my moment here. Something has to change, and you are the one who's changing it. It actually feels like this tower is you. You are the one that is saying, okay, transformation is happening and I'm going to liberate myself from this stuckness, right? And oftentimes it is not that we are actually stuck. It's our nervous system is in survival mode. And our nervous system feels conditioned, right, to stay in a comfort zone. But our soul is designed to grow. And you are meant to move into this new vibration. So yeah, it's time. Instead of it being a waiting period for you, I'm actually getting this phrase here, seize the moment, right? Seize the moment. It's time to profit. Divine timing here. If you've gone through maybe a waiting period, that can be the Hanged Man. If there's been temporary work, perhaps you've been laid off. This is the Catalyst month. I love this for you because you also have Underworld. And when Underworld shows up, you may have been dealing with shady activity or perhaps unethical practices, or people that you've worked with haven't been honest. They may have even been projecting bad or negative intentions in some way. And you're like, wait a second, that doesn't align with my morals. That doesn't align with my values, my integrity. I see what they're doing and I don't want to be a part of it. And I also am getting here on the flip side of things, you are finding unconventional ways to explore new income sources. This has to do with, probing into the mysteries of life, taking a look at hidden knowledge, taking a look at death and rebirth. And I see that you are evolving. Just as the world is evolving, so can your means of earning money. You may be diving into something a bit more taboo, where it could be hush-hushed by the public, or it's not something that everybody is going to say, wow, good for you, Sag. I'm so grateful you're doing that, because there could be a lot of jealousy, a lot of unknowns. So for example, 10 years ago, I don't even think tarot existed here on YouTube. And now we have thousands of tarot readers on YouTube. And it feels like you are moving into trying something that feels a bit fresh and it feels unknown. And sometimes that can deter people. But for you, it's like, I'm going to jump right into it. I don't know where it's going, but I'm going to trust it. And whether this is starting a YouTube channel, perhaps it is you starting a business in the metaphysical realm, the healing realm. Some of you may have, felt like you couldn't fully express yourself because your family wouldn't understand you, the way that you were brought up, maybe in religion or in your culture. It feels like you're breaking out of what other people think in some way or how you've been conditioned. And it feels like you are leaning into soul growth. And I just shared with you the nervous system, right? The nervous system is hardwired for comfort, even though in our comfort zone, it's not always comfortable. It's what we know. It's what we've been conditioned to believe, even if that is negative or challenging or holding us back, where our soul is hardwired for growth. And when we butt up against that energy and the nervous system is fearing stepping into growth, that's when we become stuck. And that's why the tower is here saying, well, if we are not willing to take the necessary changes, we're going to come in and help you, right? The tower is a sudden change, but I have this strong knowing that this is you. You are saying, okay, enough, right? I'm done shrinking. This is my moment. Excuse me. It feels like you are leaning into that Two of Cups energy. It feels like that may be a big vibe that comes up for you in January. I'm excited to do your January reading because it wouldn't surprise me if that is your outcome or that is your catalyst, is the Two of Cups, because you're manifesting something quite profound, quite powerful. Maybe this is a group of people that you're able to work with, that you're able to, feel inspired with. This could be a teacher, a mentor, a coach. It feels like a clientele base, right? Your people basically that are here to help support you, help you evolve, but you're all doing this together. Yeah, and any relationships that are holding you back from success, you're ejecting yourself from. Now, we have the 10 of Swords showing up as your current financial energy. This may be where your finances stand, where your energy stands in your career. This is betrayal. Some of you have gone through a period where people were not being honest with you. I'm also getting family here. Maybe you've worked with a group of people that was like family, or there were family situations that you've been dealing with, maybe financially, legal battles, court custodies, or inheritance arguments, something of that nature, because I'm also seeing the scales of justice, but it just could be something that's very unfair. And you're like, wait a second, I need to restore order and balance in my life. And that means I have to move forward here. So there is a big transformational energy coming through where, a catalyst isn't the destination, right? It's the ignition point. So this is the force here. The 10 of Swords is the force that accelerates your evolution. It is going to accelerate your confidence in some way and point you in a new direction. So 10 of Swords is saying, even though you may have to start over, you get to close this chapter. And many of you have been going through a very difficult time in your career or finances, or even your mental thoughts around self-sabotaging behaviors or your own belief system. That may be something you've been working on for quite some time. You may be saying, Mel, my finances are kind of going okay here, but I know that I could open the door to abundance wider. And it feels like whatever patterns or behaviors that you may have found yourself looping in, it's like this is the month where you get it. There's an aha breakthrough, and recovery is possible. Some of you, this has to do with debt, mounds of debt that you could be paying off, that you are saying, okay, I'm getting my finances in order. And maybe that professional or that partner is connecting with, a financial broker, or it could be a tax advisor, a public accountant. It could even be that you're connecting with professionals online. Maybe you're looking at some of my favorites. Mark Kohler is a great one on YouTube who can really help you learn more about finances. Maybe you're reading Dave Ramsey's books, or you're following the baby steps. Perhaps you are looking at insurance or looking at saving money in some way, but there is a shift here in the energy itself, but it's also going to bring in a shift in the physical world. So what is the financial blockage? A belief system here, or what you'd paid homage to, oftentimes because our nervous system is hardwired for comfort. You may be taking a look at spending habits, and it may have been the way that you've always spent, or a way that you've always believed, right? Or something that you've always thought. But I just talked about this in last weekend's collective reading, where our nervous system, our base chakra, is formulated between the ages of 0 and 7, just like our prefrontal cortex is not fully online. That is the part that's responsible for our decision making and our logic. So therefore, between the ages of 0 and 7, we are learning, about our safety, our security, our sense of belonging. And if that has been challenge in some way, that can affect you financially. It can affect you, in your career, in your relationships in that career, and your self-worth. So many of you have been taking a look at your belief system and asking, where is this coming from? Now, I also see here that this is big business energy. So for example, you may be guided to step into a leadership role as a spiritual teacher, because the stag here is the Hierophant. And this can be a teacher, it can be a coach, it can even be someone who is here to help others shed limiting beliefs. But first, you must be willing to go through the transformation yourself. And that's what I see here with the Tower. So you are someone meant to lead. You are the stag, and there may be a fear of, what if I step fully into my power, but yet I'm judged, I'm criticized, I'm ostracized? What if people don't see me in the way that maybe I want to be seen? And so external validation, fear of failure can be a big one. And again, this all stems from those early root chakra impressions of who we are and our sense of safety and our sense of trust. And I see that you are overcoming some of these major blockages here. You're taking a look at your relationship with finances, your relationship with stability and security. And you've been working on trusting in your own intuitive knowing here. And it's taken a long time. I see that with the Watch card, with the Patience. I'm getting the Temperance here, which is your major. And I see, Sag, that you are someone who's very brilliant. You have a powerful mind. You can be stubborn at times, but I see that you have this natural spark, this spark that people gravitate towards, because you are someone who has grown immensely, and I feel like your light attracts others. So this can be getting out of our own way at times, because we are the ones that trip up over our own thoughts, right? Over our own, fears. And I see that these could be some blockages that you are overcoming. And as I mentioned earlier, if you have a teacher, a mentor, or again, a partnership that you are opening up space for, this is going to be very, very beneficial. And for many of you, it is a client base, or it is going to be a new position where instead of feeling like there's hierarchy in some way, even if you are not the CEO or even if you're not the boss, you still have this flexibility and freedom, but also this respect that everybody can work together as a team, instead of it feeling like there are poor team players or people are not doing the roles that they are meant to do. It feels like everyone is working together, even the people that are up here, even the people that are down here. And it just feels like it's more fun, right? It's more fun. It's more aligned. It feels like there's more support. It's the teamwork making the dream work here. And if you have a therapist, I also see that there could be some discussions around this catalyst that does show up for you. And there could be some really brilliant advice that comes through that helps spark perhaps an aha moment. Now, what is your money mindset? We have the raccoon. You are open. Yes, you are the initiator here of the Tower. Even if this has happened externally, let's say this was something that kind of kicked in, that ending, it feels like it is a blessing in disguise for you. Page of Wands tells me that you are a free spirit, right? You are someone that's enthusiastic. You are, and I just said brilliant, but you have new ideas. And you have ideas that if you take the baby steps towards grounding into reality and bringing to life, right? Not just thinking about it, not just staying in the planning stages, but actually using that Three of Wands energy to move forward, to bring in momentum here. You have the power to really take off. That's what I see with this Page of Wands. So it starts with that idea. It starts with that spark, and then bringing that spark to life. And that's what I see happening in 2026 for you. So your money mindset is saying, yes, I have an idea here. I feel like I can use this idea to make money. Your beliefs here are more powerful than you think. And I know that you know that already, but when the Hierophant shows up, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and it feels like you are ready. Pages are also students. And even if you are really great at something, we never stop evolving and learning. Even the teacher is learning every day. And that's what I see here for you. So continuing to keep this open mindset is definitely going to bring you financial abundance, but not only financial abundance, it's going to bring you a sense of spiritual satisfaction, because I'm getting spiritual work here aligned with the physical piece. So Let's look here at opportunities for income growth. We have the Knight of Wands. So there you are, taking the Page of Wands, and you are moving forward with it. There's the idea. There's the catalyst. I love that energy coming through here. The Knight of Wands is saying, okay, here's the fire starter, and here I am starting something. I'm bringing it to life, and it's starting to warm me up, right? It's starting to really feel good. I'm feeling passionate about this. This is something that is going to be sustainable because we need that warmth, right? We need that warmth. And I see that you are, look at, you have the word leadership. I was just going to say you are stepping into, a feeling, an energy, an alignment that you may be making more choices in some way, but it feels like the choices actually come a bit easier because they're creative. They're aligned with your creativity. So it doesn't feel like it's such a headache or a stress to make some of these choices because it feels like it comes naturally to you. So for example, if you are in a career where you use your head a lot, use your brain a lot, and it feels like there's been a lot of stress where at times you've been going back and forth, like how should I budget this, or how can I refinance, or how can I work with this company better? And if you've been going back and forth because you have felt like you haven't had that support or you haven't felt in alignment here, it feels like those questions that may come to you, you're firing off. It's like rapid fire planning, or even if you're in an interview per se and they're asking you questions, it feels like you answer them smoothly and honestly from a place that isn't necessarily fear-based. Maybe it's not even fear-based, but like poverty consciousness mindset in a way. If you have felt that loss, sometimes that nervous system is hardwired, right? Where we tend to answer or respond in ways that are mostly survival versus kind of thriving. And it just feels like this Knight of Wands energy is saying, I'm not going to settle for less than I deserve, right? I'm done shrinking. And this is fortitude. This is passion. This is you really embodying here a level of leadership. So you have some really golden opportunities coming in. And I feel like there could even be more than one, more than one idea that you have, because some of you are meant to generate multiple income sources. So for example, you may have maybe a growing business on the side, or this could be your full on career. You could be an entrepreneur, but yet you're branching off and you have multiple income sources coming through. If you do work in the corporate world, it feels like there could be a skill set here. Yeah, you may have a skill set, maybe even something that you've been learning on your own. And I see that you are developing it. It's changing your confidence, and it's going to open you up to new opportunities. And so the Hermit showing up here is the unexpected financial influence. So something that you are doing either in your own time, or it could be the aha moments that are coming through while you are gaining introspection. There is opportunity to ascend, right? You have ascension here. You have illumination. Yeah, that light at the end of the tunnel, that's the catalyst here in a way that's going to move you forward. And it feels like you've had to take necessary time to spend some time in quiet, or spend some time maybe just getting to know yourself again after this has occurred for you, or if you're still undergoing some form of loss or ending, it feels like taking that moment to just step aside and to breathe, because it can be chaotic when you're going through the tower. But I see that it's like you're dodging a bullet here, or you're actually being divinely redirected. So the Hermit, as a hidden factor, says, don't be afraid to step outside of the noise. Don't be afraid to gain some introspection here on this situation before rushing into the next thing. So even though the catalyst is sparking change, you have the opportunity to work with that Page of Wands first, this new idea, and then kind of bump it into action, come up with, a plan for it. But I do see something happening rapidly. And let's look at the action step, Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is this Scorpion energy, which is all about bravery. It is about resilience and resolve. Now, Nine of Wands is the completion here. You are overcoming obstacles through spiritual strength and through internal yeah, perseverance, but it's not that you're persevering and using force and exhaustion to keep going, even though that's how you felt at times. It feels like this persevering is saying, okay, I know that I have this spiritual strength that's helping me. Like I know that I can pivot here and trust in this divine detour that's taking place, because there's some form of bravery that you are stepping into as you open up this new doorway, as you open up this new pathway here. Remember what I said about the destination, right? Something about the catalyst isn't the destination. It's like the ignition point here. So a spark, I keep seeing that fire starter like sparking, but it's like you've had to spark it a few times to fully ignite. And you have here as your outcome the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is moving on, right? Freedom from strife is the words. Freedom from strife. There's been an emotional storm. That's the loss. That's the Tower. That's the Ten of Swords. You've gone through some sort of storm internally, externally, mentally, nervous system, hardwiring, right? For survival. But this next chapter of your life, this next trip around the sun, this next, for some of you, decade even, because it almost feels like this is an era, meaning you may have gone through the last 10 years or the last 5 years where things have felt really heavy, where you've maybe lost it all, or you found yourself in extreme debt, or you have been fired, or you've really learned a lot about yourself. Some of you may have even gone through a health crisis here, maybe a near-death experience, or some of you have even lost a loved one or a family member, and it's really changed you. You're no longer the same Sagittarius that you were in the past, because we're always evolving and growing. But it feels like you have been learning, taking accountability for your healing process here. And this is about freedom from strife, right? Three of Swords, as you fly into 2026 with that catalyst energy that's helping build momentum, it feels like 2026 for you is going to be such a powerful year of creating a new sense of self, right? A new sense of purpose. This is evolution for you. This is the direction that you've been wanting to move into for so long, but you've had so many lessons that you've been dealing with. But look at this. I'm getting 2026. You get to actually save money, or you get to see the growth of something that you are starting, something that you are creating. You have saving money showing up with a little piece of the growth springing up on top of the jar of coins. You have selling. Okay, are you selling? Selling a business, selling a home. Perhaps you're selling your products online. I see that you are selling even yourself in some way. Like you are creating workshops or courses. You could be that spiritual teacher. Maybe you have healing products or services to offer. And not that you are like selling yourself per se, but you're not selling your soul. That's what I'm getting here. Yeah, because it feels like you may have been selling your soul to this company or to this belief pattern or this cycle that you've been going through. And again, enough. You're done shrinking. This is your moment to shine. You have here deadlines. Wow, I didn't even see that card earlier when I was seeing that hourglass, but like the 12th hour, the final bits, and there is the hourglass here. And I said I saw a little bit of sand, like the final bits of the sand that was kind of going to the bottom. And look at, if you notice this hourglass here, it's been completely flipped upside down, the fresh start. And it feels like you're getting everything that you need to get done. The end of the year, finances, taxes, accounting, paperwork, filings. If there is an important date for the justice system, the legal system, that could be coming up. I'm getting December 14th for some of you, could be a significant date. Perhaps that's a birthday as well. But you have this fresh start, and it's next to a cup of, could be cocoa, it could be tea, it could be coffee as well. But remember I mentioned something warms you up. I think I said that here earlier. Yeah, that fire, the spark of the fire, it's like you're able to sit in front of that fire and finally feel like your body gets to warm up again, because it feels like you've been in the cold. Have you ever watched one of those shows like Naked and Afraid, where they're out in the Arctic, or they're out even in the the coldest places where it gets super hot at night, but really cold during, or excuse me, maybe it's opposite, hot during the day, cold at night, and they have to try to find a fire. They have to try to find shelter, food, fire, and it just feels like there's been a survival piece that has come into play where you've tried to do what you can to survive, but now it's like that fire is here. It's starting to warm you up, and instead of feeling like you have to constantly be draining your life force energy for whatever that Ten of Swords was, it feels like that's what's wrapping up. Wow, this is powerful for you. And it's not only affecting your career directly or your financial situation, but it's affecting you as a whole. Like this is going to ripple out into all areas of your life because it feels like it goes deeper than just career, right? It goes deeper than just finances. This is spiritual alignment happening. Let's get a message from the wisdom of the Oracle. I'm hearing the name Sylvie, potentially Sylvia or Sylvie, or maybe there's a school like Sylvia Learning School. I'm not sure what that means. We have Y, and it's number 31, right? 31 is the final day of the month. So December 31st, the final hour, the final day. It's like something comes in at the nick of time for some of you. Maybe Nick, Saint Nick. All right. Let's take a look here. 31 could be a significant number for many of you. Maybe you have 31 in your address. It could be, again, the date. It could be, and oh my goodness, I just looked at the clock and it says 3-1 on the clock, you guys. Motives, driving intention, the power of knowing the why. I'm going to read both the protection message here and the catalyst because you're still going through perhaps that tower. All right. You're still going through that 10 of Swords. So I want to read both. Sometimes subconsciously, denying the truth may drive you toward a specific outcome that actually aligns with an intention hidden from your awareness. For example, you may want to be prominent in your profession, but your desire is not really about sharing your talents, but about making yourself feel better because fame would cause people to admire and approve of you. Or you may want to reunite with a partner who rejected you because you believe that love continues to be strong, but deep down what you really desire is to have the last word with that person. Now is the time for deep soul searching of the why. There's the Hermit. The why that drives your choices. What you uncover will set you free. There's that 3 of Swords, freedom, and bring you ever closer to the happiness that you seek. Oh my goodness. So the freedom here, this is the catalyst. And because I think I'm going to title your reading The Catalyst or something along those lines, knowing the motives behind your career and creative venture is the ticket to your greatest success. It's time to ask yourself some probing questions. Are you driven by a desire to serve? Does your prosperity impact the greater good? When you envision your most prosperous life, are you guided by a sense of purpose or by a need to make money, acquire things, save for the future, or all of these? Now here's the kicker here, Sag. No motive is good or bad. But having agendas hidden from yourself will lead to the disappointment and possibly failure. Be clear about why you want the things you do. If the motives are true, accept them. If they are not, change them so that you can step into your extraordinary life. Whew. How do you guys feel about that one? I'm getting goosebumps for you. Whew. All right, last but not least, let's get a message from your spirit animal guides. And if you can safely do so, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale through your nostril, deep into your solar plexus. Big breath in through the nose. Hold it for the count of 3, 2, 1. Release through your mouth with a nice deep sigh. Let it out. Big sigh, big breath out. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you, Sagittarius, to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now, this could be an animal that flies high in the sky or swims deep in the sea. Your animal could be wild, domesticated, mystical, or magical. This could be a pet that's crossed over the rainbow bridge, one that you currently have at your home, or one that's crossed your path recently in the great outdoors. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway where I draw one winner around the first of the month, all you need to do is drop your animals in the comment section below. I will enter you into that giveaway. So please be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button if you have not already. All right, Sag, you have some powerful ones here. You have the mermaid. Ooh, the mermaid. This is about femininity, allure, and charm. Now, I am seeing here emotions, right? That emotional storm that you may have felt like you're going through. Now, she is no longer in the water, right? It's almost like she can walk on land, right? It's like she's been given this opportunity, just like in the mermaid, right? I feel like you are being given an opportunity here and to open yourself up to that divine feminine, regardless if you're female or male. It's the Empress, right? To unleash your creative abilities, express yourself in ways that perhaps you've never been able to explore before. You can see the water in the background, the huge waves that are hitting up against the rocks. And she is sitting there. Her eyes are closed. She's tuned in. She's trusting in the energies around her. You have seahorse. This is composure, serenity, and fatherhood. Now, the fact that we have both femininity here and fatherhood, we talked earlier about the root chakra, also known as the base chakra. There may be some energies around what you had witnessed growing up around stability. You know, were finances scarce? Do you feel like mom or dad wasted money on things that they didn't need to, such as maybe alcohol? Or did you feel like your needs were being met on all different levels? How did you witness finances being handled? Perhaps you had a father who was a saver, who believed that he had to work, 16, 18-hour days. And so money, is hard. Money is hard to acquire. Taking a deep look at those beliefs, those values, those motives. It's not right or wrong, but it's getting honest with yourself. And I see that you are moving into an era. I keep feeling era. This isn't just an opportunity that's going to be here for a few weeks, a few months, but this is moving into serenity. This seahorse here also represents intuition, right? This is an intuitive path that you are being guided to take that's not only bringing in and opening up the path of abundance, but peace. That may be what abundance means for you, is peace. You have meerkat, group dynamics, discussions, effective leadership. So this is tribe. We talked about this earlier, connecting with people, partnerships, corporations, businesses, where you feel supported, no matter who is at the front or who is at the back, right? It doesn't matter because they all come together. And having discussions. This is effective leadership that can benefit the entire group, can help the entire group. Because if one person is a struggle to be a good leader, if one person is unprofessional, or if they are seeking status, right, or if they are not using their power for good, it can ripple out and it can destroy the company. And so I see that there are some group discussions that are needing to be shifted, talked about. The cracks in the foundation need to be addressed in some way. There may even be someone who has left the company, or there may have even been someone who's crossed over or retired, and you may be stepping into their role potentially. And lastly, we have the porcupine, ancestral wisdom. You definitely have some family dynamics that are playing out at this time, and maybe even a loved one in spirit is guiding you, okay? Guiding you. The power of the porcupine, I've never seen an albino porcupine, which is what this one looks like, but this is quiet ferocity. This is storytelling. Many of you are storytellers in some way, or you are taking a look at the stories that have been told in your own life. There's the Hierophant. All right, there's that Hierophant. But the fact that the porcupine is here, which can be protection, right? The quills of protection. But the fact that it's white is a fresh start, is a clean slate for you. And tapping into that ancestral wisdom of who you are, where you came from, your sense of belonging. You may be shifting or changing up your story, or accepting, acknowledging, but also knowing that you have that brilliant mind where you can shift the direction here, that this can be the catalyst. You may even have some sort of epiphany from this ancestral wisdom that is kind of propelling you into 2026 in a very, very profound way. That is what I have for you, Sag. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope this resonates on a deeper soul level for many of you. I just heard the name Keith. Keith, I have not heard that name for a while. Is that like a nickname for, maybe it's someone's real name, but it could also be like a nickname, Keith. Again, thank you so much, Sag. Feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It certainly does help. And if you would like to book a personal reading, or to sign up for the monthly newsletter, or to enter into the free reading giveaway if you didn't drop your animal, you can find all of that information in the description box below, or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.